Okay, so let's get right into it. If you've ever tried to put your own face, or anyone's face, into an AI-generated image, you have probably slammed into a really common, and let's be honest, a super frustrating problem. Today, we're going to break down a new technology called With Anyone that is designed to fix this, maybe for good. Right? This is the core question. You feed an AI a perfectly good photo of yourself, you write this amazing, detailed prompt, and what you get back? Something that looks less like you and more like a cardboard cutout of your face just slapped onto a totally new scene. So why on earth does this keep happening? And this slide just shows it perfectly. On the left, you've got a normal, natural photo. On the right, that's what the AI usually spits out. I mean, look at that. The face is just copied. The expression, the lighting, the angle, it is identical to the source photo. It feels like a sticker, right? It's completely disconnected from its new environment. The AI doesn't understand you, it just copies the picture you gave it. Well, there's actually a technical name for this, and it's called the copy-paste artifacts. It's this exact problem. The AI doesn't learn your identity, your essence, it just memorizes the pixels in one specific photo, and then it just reproduces them again and again. This is the thing. This is the core problem that kills creativity and makes so many of these images feel so fake. So why does it happen? Well, think about it like this. Imagine you're teaching an artist to draw. But instead of teaching them about anatomy or perspective or lighting, you only give them one single photo and you tell them to trace it. And then you make them do it again and again, millions of times. What do you end up with? You get an expert tracer, an absolutely incredible copy machine, but you don't have an artist who can actually draw that person in a new pose or with a different expression. And that is exactly how most of these AIs have been trained. So when you boil it all down, it is a data problem. The AI models are learning from these massive photo albums that are incredibly wide, millions of different people, but they're not very deep. They might only have one or two good photos for any given person, and that forces them into that tracing behavior we just talked about. To fix this, researchers had to build something totally new, and they started with a massive new dataset. We're talking 2 million images, all collected and organized to solve this one specific problem. This new dataset is called Multi-ID2M, and you can just think of it as a much, much better photo album for the AIs to learn from. For thousands of different people, it doesn't just have one picture, it has hundreds. The same person, smiling, frowning, and different lighting from different angles, even in group photos with other people. This is what teaches the AI what makes a person them, their underlying identity, not just what they happen to look like in one frozen moment. Okay, so you've got this amazing new library of photos. The training data is fixed. But that brings up a whole other problem. How do you actually test if the AI is really learning or if it's just gotten better at cheating? How do you design an exam that a copy-paste artist can't possibly pass? Now this is actually kind of brilliant. The old way of grading these AIs was just wrong. It measured how similar the new image was to the original photo you gave it. Think about that. It was actually encouraging the copy-paste problem. The new test is so much smarter. It compares the AI's result to a different, real photo of that person in the new situation, which they call the ground truth. This rewards the AI for capturing the person's identity, not just for copying the input pixels. So this new, smarter exam is called Multi-ID Bench, and really, you can just think of it as a test designed specifically to catch those copy-paste cheaters. It's built to reward models that show a true, flexible understanding of what a person's face actually looks like. And when you use this new test, the results are pretty stunning. See, for a long time, there was this annoying trade-off. To get a face that really looked like you, high accuracy, you had to accept a ton of that copy-pasting. What this new model with Anyone does is it gets you the best of both worlds. You get a face that truly looks like the person, but with a very, very low copy-paste score. It finally breaks that trade-off. So with all that background, let's properly introduce the star of the show. This is With Anyone. It's the model that was built on that huge new dataset and was graded against that much smarter benchmark. All right, now for the fun part. Let's see the proof. In this example, the input is a woman with a totally neutral face. The prompt asks for her to be smiling. So the typical AI result? It just pastes in the same neutral face, ignoring the prompt. But look at the With Anyone result. It's clearly the same person, but now she's smiling, and it looks completely natural. It actually understood the instruction. Okay, let's try something a bit harder. This time, the prompt asks for her head to be tilted while she's holding a microphone. The other AI, well, it gets the microphone in there, but her head is still stuck, rigidly facing forward. That's that copy-paste artifact again. With anyone, on the other hand, just nails it. The pose is dynamic, she's actually interacting with the microphone, and, most importantly, it still looks exactly like her. Now this is like the ultimate test. Taking two completely separate people and putting them together in a believable way. The other model gives us that classic awkward cutout look. It literally looks like two stickers on a background, but with anyone, it creates a genuinely new image where the couple is actually interacting. The lighting matches, the pose is natural. It's just a huge, huge leap forward. So how on earth does it do this? Well, the training method is the key. First, it just soaks up all the information from that giant 2 million image library. But then comes the secret sauce. Instead of just tracing one photo, it's shown two different photos of the same person, and it has to learn the identity that connects them. Then it learns to tell that person apart from thousands of others. And finally, it gets a quality polish just to make the final images look amazing. And this is the core idea, straight from the researchers themselves. This paired training strategy is what forces the model to stop what they call low-level copying, that's just matching pixels, and instead learn a person's identity embedding. You can kind of think of it as learning the essence of a face, not just tracing its surface. So why does all this technical stuff actually matter to you and me? Well, because it finally solves that infuriating cardboard cutout problem. It gives us real creative freedom to change poses and expressions and everything else. This means better portraits, for sure, but it also unlocks things like realistic digital avatars or virtual clothing try-ons that actually look like you. It's about moving AI from being a kind of dumb copy machine to being a genuine creative partner. And that really brings us to a fascinating final thought. As this technology gets better and better, as AI can perfectly capture and recreate not just a photo but an identity, it just opens up a whole new world of possibilities. It really makes you wonder, in a world where you can be anyone, anywhere, who are we going to choose to be?